Life in basketball. Ano ba talaga ang buhay ng basketballista dito sa Pilipinas? This is one of the first episodes of Off the Record with Mix Bustos and kasama ko ngayon ang isa sa mga matalik kong kaibigan sa basketball industry, my guy, Mikey Reyes. Mike's brother, thanks for, you know,
Una, congrats
may invitation.
Congrats sa bago mong venture.
Salamat.
Galing,
Pero
galing.
yun nga, malaking bagay si Mikey sa...
Saan?
Sa career natin. Sabay kami nag-start as a broadcasters. For
Tapos
NCAA.
ikaw ganyan ka na, no? Kita mo naman yung, yung advancement ng career mo sa career ko, di
Ano
ba?
ka ba? Hindi ganon, pare. Hindi, pero kasi naisip natin tong topic na to kasi lagi natin gino-glorify yung mga sikat. Lagi natin gino-glorify yung mga who made it. But what does it really take to be in the basketball scene, especially in the Philippines? Mikey, let's just establish. Mikey, you are quote-unquote a journeyman, I would like to call it.
Yeah, basketball-wise, journeyman talaga. Umikot na kasi, yun nga sabi mo, I think, ang nakikilala are those who make it. And as a basketball player, ang maintindihan mo, especially pag, kahit sino naman, kahit sinong guy, or even girl, well, especially sa guys, because the population of basketball players, kahit saan kanto may makikita ang basketball players, hindi nila alam kung, kaya yung mga umabot doon, so much, iba yung prestige, iba yung respeto sa kanila. Kasi sa dami ng basketball players sa mundo or sa Pilipinas, only a chosen few really make it up there. Pero, mas madami yung hindi umabot. So, yun naman yung bond na sinishare ng mga hindi umabot. At yun din yung respeto na nakukuha from the ones who make it. Kasi lahat tayo, nag-try naman. Even in life, di ba? Sumubok lang naman tayo lahat.
Yun nga kasi I say journeyman kasi starting from at a young age, nag-Ateneo
umikot
ka,
na actually.
umikot ka na, Ateneo, nag-Green Hills, nag-UP,
Basta nag-UP. Oh.
MPBL.
Muntik pa ako mag-UST, muntik ako mag-San Beda.
Yun nga, Mikey, nung nagkakwentuhan tayo before na natin gawin tong vlog na to, you would consider yourself as a journeyman.
Journeyman, umikot na. Like what you said, I was one of those guys who was just really looking for the perfect situation for me. And even if it was a continuous search for that, I don't take any team that I played for, even though sobrang konti lang ng time ko for granted. Diba? Kaohsiung nga, one day. One game.
Sa ABL.
Oo, yun yung hirap and also sa basketball because walang kasiguraduhan unless you get a long-term contract, which you can only get once you sign a short-term contract. Kasi syempre, short-term muna. Titignan muna nila kung anong kaya mo, di ba? Tapos, and sometimes, it's not even based on your performance. Kasi if I can recall, when I played for Kaohsiung, I had a one-game contract. I actually played okay. And I actually thought I was gonna sign long-term with them. Pero, di ba, things happened off the court na they wanted this guy, they wanted this guy, but they can only get this guy kung sumama yung isa.
Yeah.
So, ako doon.
May mga ganong
may
pangyayari.
Meron mga hindi mo talaga control ng mga bagay.
Oh.
At the end of the day, kontrolado mo sarili mo. So,
Being a basketball player, Mikey, full-time yan eh.
full-time.
Diba?
Full-time.
Practice ka sa umaga.
Akala nila 2 hours lang yung...
Oo.
Akala kasi nila practice lang eh. Which is
May
maybe
extra
2, 3
work ka pa.
Oh, and also you have to look out for your diet, for your conditioning. You're not gonna make it into the PBA if you just rely on practice.
But growing up, Mikey, with a basketball family, Coach Buds also, na your dad is a coach, kapatid mo naglaro sa NU, basketball family. Coming, sabihin natin, when you were younger, what was your idea of a basketball life?
NBA. Lahat naman tayo eh.
Oh.
Diba? Kasi
Oh.
I think it's safe to say that 90% of the basketball players or 90% of guys in especially nung 90s, diba? NBA ang goal eh. NBA.
Nag-hit sa'yo, Mikes, na this is reality. You know,
UAP.
any particular part in
Kasi,
the
high school, when you make it to the juniors, nung nag-NCAA juniors na ako, hindi pa rin yun yung napapanood mo nung bata ka eh. Nung bata ako, napapanood ko Mike Cortez, Rich Alvarez, Renan Ritualo,
Kuya Ren.
yung mga yan, Enrico Villanueva, LA Tenor. Yan yung napapanood mo. Hindi mo naman naaalala yung juniors eh. Yung, kilala mo lang ng juniors ka, yung mga umangat ng seniors eh, like Marvin Cruz, BJ Manalo, yan yung mga sikat na eh. Pero what you were really looking forward to when you were younger was UAP seniors. Studio 23.
Correct.
Di ba?
TV.
So, it really hit me nung first game na ng UAP career ko. Kasi even nung off-season, Phil Oil,
Okay
diba?
lang.
Wala pa. Pero nung pumasok na ako sa Araneta, yung malaking TV dun sa, hindi pa nga dun sa taas, yung sa gilid.
Sa gilid.
Yung malaki, dalawa yun, di ba?
Upgrade yung Araneta ngayon.
So nung nakita ko yun, tapos close up ka na, first 5 pa ako nung, ano ko. And then, nung nagra-round robin na ako, I even caught myself watching nung pre-game na.
Okay.
Kasi yun ang papanood sa TV, di ba? Pre-game na, pinapanood ko, tapos lumalabas na sina Woody ko. Nandiyan na sa tabi ko si Woody, tapos dumadaan na sa akin yung camera. So doon ko na, eto na pala talaga. Tapos nagkalat na ako nung game na yun.
Kasi jitters.
Kalat na ako nung game na yun. Pero doon ko na, eto na talaga.
After the 5 years with UP, eto na eh. Pag-graduate na, then what's
Actually, hindi ko
next?
nga natapos eh. Hindi ko nga natapos,
Oo
di ba?
nga pala,
Hindi ko natapos.
no?
I injured I tore my ACL during the off-season. So, hindi ko na natapos yung 5th year ko.
Tinapos mo ba?
Hindi ko natapos.
Nag-graduate ka?
Nag-graduate. Nagtapos
Eventually.
ako ng
Studies.
pero may 1 playing year pa ako noon.
Hindi mo
So,
na siya
basically,
tinapos.
4 pa lang ang nalalaro.
Basically, into employment.
Tapos, patuloy doon. Di ba doon sa 4 na yun, may isa pa akong 1 game season.
Ah.
So, 3 years lang nilaro ko sa UAP. Officially, 3 years lang.
Yung puno-puno.
Technically.
Yun nga, ito na, into employment.
Oo.
Wala, tapos na yung UP.
Doon ako pumasok sa broadcasting nung napunit yung tuhod ko.
2015.
Oo, kasi punit yung tuhod ko, hindi ako makalaro. And then I remember, pumunta ako ng NBA Cafe, dumating si Jordan Clarkson tsaka si Trey Burke, kasama ko si Tin.
What's up, Tin?
Shout out, Tin. Kasama ko siya. Nakaupo kami, nintay namin si Jordan Clarkson tsaka si Trey Burke dumating. Parang ano yun eh. Media press conference for them. Tapos, nasa harapan namin, hindi ko pa siya kilala at that time. Si Sir Lori. Hindi ko pa siya kilala at that time. Si Sir Lori, nasa tapat namin, kumakain kami ni Tip. Sabi sa akin ni Sir Lori, Mikey, ganyan siya. Sabi, hi sir, ganyan, hindi ko pa siya kilala nun. May audition ng NC, ganyan-ganyan. Sabi ko, baka gusto mong mag-try eh. Sabi ko, hindi ko ever nakita sarili kong gagawin yun. Pero, they noticed me pala, they told me, nung nag-audition na tayo finally, magkasama pa tayo nun, they told me na, every time they interview me sa UAP, as a player,
articulate ka
articulate na ako, nagsasalita na ako, ganyan-ganyan. Akala nga nila, hindi ako nagtatagalog. Kasi syempre, pag player ka, pa-English ka, di ba? Parang, pilang-pilang yung dating mo, di ba?
Sir Lori, shoutout boss namin sa ABS-CBN Sports.
So, pag nung player ako, syempre, NBA ka. Diba? So, pag alala ko nun, meron pang si Mickey pa kasama ko nun, parang tour sa bahay, di ba? Syempre, pag player ka, parang, I grew up here, ganyan.
Yeah.
So, akala nila hindi ako nag-i-English. Sabi ko, sa pagdating ko doon, hindi ako nagtatagalog. Sa pagdating ko doon, ayun na, then slowly, during the rehab process, nag-NC na tayo. Tapos nag-start na tayo mag-ano. So, I believe talaga everything happens for a reason. Diba? Dahil na-injure ako, para makapasok ako sa field na.
Mike, ang gusto kong tumbukin is like ang player may ibang personality eh. 'Di ba? Ibang ways on how to deal with stress, with injuries, with emotions. You have an outgoing personality, had that going for you. Pero during those times na you were finding yourself, daming racket, dami dito. Pero ano ba talaga, what goes on through a basketball player's mind? Na kapag walang kontrata, kapag palipat-lipat ng team, what's the struggle like for you?
Especially coming from a situation na when I was in Lasal Green Hills, lalo na nung latter portion ko ng Lasal, medyo ano ka na nun eh, star ka na nun eh. Medyo star ka nung high school ka, you entered UAAP na upcoming rookie, na hindi naman inaabangan like the way inaabangan ngayon, pero like, medyo may pangalan nga nung high school. And then pagpasok mo ng college, medyo gusto nila makita kung anong kaya mo.
Nasanay ka sa ganon?
Oo, nasanay ka sa ganon. And yun, I say that proudly na you have this sense of entitlement. Kasi naging star ka eh. So, kailangan madali ang basketball nun eh. Roster spots when you're younger, easier per se because never ko naman na-feel yung I'm fighting for a spot eh.
Correct.
It was always just, sure ka naman eh. Kasi, di ba, you would outplay your pag-practice, ganyan, you were one of the guys na they would look at, di ba? And then, after college, dun na pumasok. Yun, na parang, hindi na sigurado ngayon. Nagta-try out ka na ngayon, di ba? Even when I tried out for the PBA, di ba? I went to Kia.
Talk and text.
Talk and text, nag-try out ako. And then, na-draft ako sa Talk and text. And then when you get into the league, practice pa lang to kasi kaka-draft eh. Doon, fighting for a spot ka ngayon. So, din talaga.
Was that new to you?
Oo, it was an eye-opening na parang doon ka talaga na nothing is easy talaga. Nothing comes easy in life. And when I stopped playing and naglaro ako sa Talk and Text, I got cut. I got cut for a guy named, hindi ko nga alam, hindi mo masyadong magaling yun. Si Jason Castro kasi. Si Jason Castro. Alam mo, ito, story
Langya ka?
Dinraft ako ng Talk and Text kasi that was the year na may chance mag-China si Jason. Yung inoferan siya ng big contract.
Okay, yeah.
So when I was practicing with Talk and Text, hindi
pwede.
nagpa-practice si Jason. Si Kuya Jason kasi parang in talks pa siya, expired na yung contract niya sa Talk and Text, kinukuha siya ng CBA, and laki ng offer ng CBA, diba? So a part of me was like, pag hindi nag-sign si Kuya Jason, kunyari nag-China si Kuya Jason, baka may chance ako kasi ang kalabang ko nun sa spot, si Ganuelas Rosser, who was playing point guard for
Point guard din.
Nash.
Sino isama?
Si Chris Rosales.
Chris Rosales.
So it was them two, and then pag practice, ako yung nasa third group, tapos sila yung dalawa yung nauna sa akin. So wala pa si Kuya Jason. So parang uy, baka, di ba? Malay natin, di ba? Kahit pangko, kahit practice player, di ba? Bumalik niya.
So, sorry.
So, ako parang half yung emotions ko nung tumating siya sa practice. Kasi excited din ako. Kuya Jason, kumusta? So, naka-practice si Kuya Jason total of 2 practices. Kasi pagdating niya, wala na kinatama doon. So, yun yung hindi naman masyadong magaling si Kuya Jason. Hindi ko nga alam. So anyway, yun yung, after that, nung nakat na ako doon, mag-move on na dapat ako. Sabi ko, sige, I'll try other stuff. Kasi ongoing na yung natin broadcasting career natin. So,
pero wait, I'll stop you there. You were drafted, you were called on, but hindi ka na-sign.
Hindi ako na-sign.
Ano yun?
What was that like? Iba ang na-draft sa nag-sign.
Okay.
So lahat ng nada-draft,
kailangan mo na mag-sign.
Oo, iba yun. Kaya alam na lahat ng draftees yun. Kasi usually, pag na-draft ka, people are like, uy, PBA ka na. Pero you know deep inside na, oops, di pa ako nakakapirma. Huwag niyong batiin.
At marami naman ding...
Mas madami hindi nasasign.
Marami naman ding hindi na-draft, pero nasa-sign.
Oo, may ganun din.
It can go either way.
So, kumbaga, alam ng mga tumungtong PBA yan, especially yung mga hindi naman first rounder. Yun yung mga talaga, lalaban pa sa spot eh. So, when we fought...
Anong year ka?
2015. Gilas draft pa kasi.
51st
Gilas draft.
pick overall.
51st.
The last guy in the draft.
Second to the last.
Hindi ba
Second to the last. Si Levy Hernandez si last. Second to the last. Tapos, maganda pa dito, there were talks na hindi magpapadraft yung mga hayop na yun.
Talaga?
Diba? Sina Macbelo, Tolomia, Halalon.
Special draft.
So, may usapan, hindi sila magpapadraft. Cadets dapat sila. Focus sila sa Gilas. So, nung sinabi nila hindi sila magpapadraft, pumasok kami lahat ng draft. Biglang after a while, mga 2 weeks, 3 weeks before the draft, biglang pumasok lahat. So, wala na kami. Yung first pick sa draft namin was AL. Banal. Sina Jello Alolino, Eriobu, Jonathan Gray. Yan na yung mga sa draft namin. So anyway.
Pero nung pumasok na Mikes, nung sabi papadraft na sila.
Wala na kami magawa. Nandun na, nagsubmit na kami. Ha? Papasok sina Giovanni.
Pero na-draft ka technically.
Na-draft ako. 51st.
51st. Tama ako, 51st.
Ang alam ko mga ganun.
Mga ganun.
Ako kasi 52nd si Levy ang alala ko. So,
but were you actually
pero
waiting to be signed?
Nun.
Were you waiting to be signed?
Did you expect? Hoping. Hindi naman ako nag-expect. It was more of, I have a chance to actually just practice with them. With Coach Nash, Coach Josh, Kuya Ranidel, Kuya Kelly, Kuya Ryan. So, when I went to practice, kumbaga, toss up yun, kumbaga, bahala na. Pero I felt like I had a chance at least mag-practice player, at least reserve, or maybe last guy on the bench. Didn't happen. Kasi nga, bumalik nga si Kuya Jason. So, when Kuya Jason came back, 3 na silang point guard. So, parang...
Hindi ka na nag-try.
For what, di ba?
For any
other team. Hindi na. Medyo ako nun. Medyo na-down ako nun. And then...
Wait. Mamaya na yung end din. Because I want to get to the emotion. Yung ba yung...
Down ako nun. Alala ko nun.
Go ahead.
They told me the morning of the opening.
Which was how many days after the draft?
The morning of the
Morning of the opening.
opening of the season. Pare, nagpa-practice ako for a month and a half. Tapos, opening na, usually ang opening Sunday. Usually ang opening ng PBA Sunday. Opening ng 1, practice kami mga 9. So, nandun na yung mga jersey, yung mga jacket na susuotin nila mamaya. Yan, nandun na lahat. Hindi pa ako nasa-sign. Doon nila sinabi sa akin na cut na ako. The morning off. So, you can just imagine. And also, when it was, kasi feeling mo, baka malaki na yung chance na pasok ka na kasi opening na eh. Maybe not as a player, pero like reserve or practice player. Kasi you kept me here na for a month and a half eh. Tapos mag-opening na. You could have cut me earlier, di ba? So, nung morning of that opening, nag-practice pa ako nun. Practice kami and then they called me na to the office. So, akala ko, at least offer me something na practice player or minimum, I don't know, di ba? That was just what I was hoping for. Not really expecting, pero hoping for. And then when they cut me, wala, like, boom, bagsak talaga. As in, I remember, uwi ako nun, tapos mag-opening na, so manunod pa ako ng opening sa TV, di ba? Then I would see Instagram stories na opening na. So,
ano yung bagsak for you, Mike? I know you as a loud guy, as an outgoing guy, but I've never really seen you...
Bagsak talaga. Like, you were basically preparing for that your whole life. PBA ka, di ba? And then it would just come down on you, everything. So, all the emotions. Yung pagod mo, biglang bumigat. Kasi iba yung pagod na excited ka for something, iba yung pagod na wala na eh, di ba? So, ano yun, alala ko nun, I was just lucky na may ABL na ongoing nun. Yun yung first few weeks na nagtatawag sila ng commentator outside of the country. So, kahit papano, nakalipad ako to Taiwan, kasama ko si Delph. We were the first duo na nag-cover ng ABL sa labas.
Sa Hong Kong.
Sa ano muna? Taiwan muna. The first one sa Taiwan. Punta kami doon. Sabi ko, ayoko na mag-basketball. Buisit na basketball. Ayoko na muna. Ganyan. Nag-cover kami ni Delph ng game. Nagkalat yung kausyong truth. Hindi makatawid ng bola sa Hong Kong. Di yung coach lumapit sa amin after the game. Parang ganyan-ganyan. Kami, Coach, what happened? Ganyan-ganyan. We watched the game. Obviously, we covered the game. Ganyan-ganyan. And then he was like, I don't have a point guard. Ganyan-ganyan siya. Ito namang si Delph.
Binenta ka.
Coach, I know a point guard. This guy. Sabi nung coach, you're a point guard. Sabi ni Delph, yeah, coach, he's one of the best college point guards in the... Sabi ko, ganyan. Ito naman si Coach Tristan. Ay, nag-YouTube. YouTube siya sa harapan namin.
Mikey Reyes.
What's your name? Si Delph. Coach, this is my game. Siyempre sa YouTube, highlights eh. Siyempre, pinapakita magaling, di ba?
Lahat ng shoot.
Ano yun? Thursday. Ay, hindi. Mga Tuesday, Wednesday. Tapos after nung pag-uwi namin dito, may game ulit yung Taiwan. Ang ABL, if for everyone who doesn't
ASEAN
know.
Basketball League.
At saka puyatan yun eh. Di ba? Bigising nga ng 2 a.m., lilipad ka.
Tsaka commercial flights.
So puyat ako ng buong linggo. Tapos, may Sunday game ang Kaohsiung Truth kalaban ng Alab sa Alonte. Friday, may game pa ang Kaohsiung sa ibang bansa. Saturday, pinapunta nila ang practice. Tinext ako ng Tristan.
That all happened in 1 week?
All happened in 1 week. Saturday, nag-practice ako sa kanila 1 day. Okay, practice ako. Pero puyat-puyat na ako nung buong linggo na yun eh. Saturday, nag-practice ako. Okay, sige, play the next day. Stinart na ako noon. Maganda yung first half ko na. I think I scored 13 in the first half nun kalaban sina Coach Max, sina Jerry. Nag-cramps ako nung second half because of all the puyat. Tapos hindi na naman ako nakasign. That was the 1 game contract.
Pero but for the guys na you're one of the players that had broadcast experience na nakakaraket ng gito outside basketball. But for the general population, na talagang ball is life, what have you observed?
It shouldn't be life.
Why not?
I think you realize that when you get older. When you're younger, it's all basketball. Even, I believe, with anyone, with any young kid, especially being a fan of the game, is basketball or nothing. And there was a point in my younger life wherein I was, kung hindi ako magbabasketball, anong gagawin ko? Di ba? Parang may ganong moment.
Did you feel like ito lang yung alam kong
Kasi
gawin?
hindi naman ako
Did you feel like ito lang yung alam kong gawin?
Oo! Hindi naman kasi ako good student. Hindi naman talaga ako pala-aral. Di ba? I took up tourism in college. I don't know why. Hindi ko alam bakit. I remember, nagpal pa ako. Nag-apply ako sa PAL. Nag-apply ako sa PAL. Nag-impact interview pa ako. Pagdating ko doon, sabi ko, ba't ba ako nandito? Pero, magsasalita ka lang doon, di ba? So, nagustuhan nila ako doon. Pero nakita nila yung tattoo ko.
May tattoo.
And then after a while, I realized, hindi naman para talaga sa akin yun. I don't have the patience for that. So, there was a point talaga na parang, what else can I do other than basketball? Because when you're younger, iniisip mo, kung di ka nag-aaral, ano gagawin mo pagkatapos?
But what have you observed amongst your friends in the game?
You know, the respect is there. Basketball does not define us. Basketball does not define us. Because when you're younger, you believe that basketball is my hierarchy system. Yan. Feeling mo the stars, the almost made it, the ones who didn't make it, the ones who think they can make it but can't, the ones who made it borderline. There's mutual respect amongst all the basketball players. Na talagang even if I'm talking to a PBA legend, I don't feel it. Kumbaga, the respect is there. The mutual respect.
Idol,
because
idol.
we're all competing for, di ba? We're all fighting for our lives, di ba? Whether it be for our careers or even after basketball. When basketball starts to become a source of income, dun talaga respetuhan na. Pagdating mo na semi-pro ng pro, ano na talaga, parang we're all here to really just make a living off of the game.
You said it shouldn't be life.
It shouldn't be life. It shouldn't be life. Because
How can you get over that?
there's so much
Tama
more.
ba yung sinabi ko, Mike, na how you get over that?
Because you realize there's so much more to basketball than being a basketball player. You can love the game and be part of the game and not be a basketball player.
Such
Yun yung naano ko. Mahal ko yung basketball. That's why I don't want to leave basketball, the game. I'm trying to be a part of the game. Kumbaga, from a different perspective.
That's why
from a
maraming
different position.
nag-coaching.
Maraming nag-coaching, broadcasting, maraming nag-media, maraming nag-cover ng basketball.
Nag-abroad
May
para magturo.
Magturo or matuto para pagbalik dito, magtuturo, ganun. So, maraming sides of basketball na talagang you can stay within the game but not actually be the 10 players on the floor. Diba? Which is the hardest position to be in or hardest to be a part of, which is yung basketball players. Pero outside, dami mong pwedeng gawin.
Mikey, para sa mga viewers natin na basketball fans, sa mga bata, matanda, college, high school, na gustong i-pursue itong industry na to.
Which
Pero,
industry?
Itong basketball, as a player.
As a player.
Pero gusto ko munang tanungin, ano ang pinakamasakit? Ano ang hard realities that you have to face with every day in this life?
The stress.
What is the stress?
There are different kinds of stress. When you're a star player, the stress of the pressure. Kasi kahit papaano, hindi ako nakatungtong ng PBA, pero na-experience ko maging star in my own team. Whether it be UP, LaSalle Green Hills. And the pressure of being the guy that they look to deliver on a daily basis. Kasi UAP. Yun yung pressure doon as a star. As someone they go to. As the senior, yun yung pressure doon.
That's one point.
Yung pressure naman ng pagiging
role
player is naranasan ko na maging role player. You're not the star, but you're on the second team na kailangan mong mag-deliver pag lumabas yung stars. So paglabas yung star, papasok kayo ng end of the first, start of the second, kailangan mong i-sustain. Or even, kailangan mong i-save yung starters pag hindi sila masyado nag-perform ng start. So may pressure din yon, especially coming off the bench because your minutes are limited. Unlike if you're the star, medyo mas may leeway kang magkamali, may leeway kang magmintis.
What about the one for fighting for a spot?
Pag fighting for a spot naman, wala namang kasiguraduhan yung buhay mo sa basketball. Hindi mo alam when your next contract will be, hindi mo alam kung tatanggalin ka na, hindi mo alam. So every day, even practice, there's pressure. So hindi totoo ang pressure lang yung kasi yung star din even though secure yung roster spot nila, sila naman yung inaasahan pag game. So lahat, there's different kinds. There's different kinds of pressure all through from player 1 to player 12 to player 15.
How do you deal with it? From all levels.
I think when I got older, dun ko natutunan na you just control what you can control. Hindi mo control kung sino ipapasok ng coach, hindi mo i-control kung sino ikakat ng mga managers, hindi mo control kung sino kalaban, ano tawag ng referee. Wala, you just control what you can control, which is you put in the work day in, day out, and then if you live with the results. And yun, di ba? I lived with my results, I didn't make it, pero I worked for it naman my whole life. Yun yung ano dun.
One of the, I guess, objectives here in our segment in Off the Record is motivational. For the ones who want to pursue this craft.
Do everything you can to make it. As in, you don't want to regret it after. So, me, I regret kasi may mga points sa buhay ko na I could have been better. I was always perceived as attitude problem, which is...
Aminado ka ba?
Siguro, it was more of hindi ko nalalabas in a more positive way yung emotions ko. Kasi sobrang gusto kong manalo, sobrang gusto kong ganyan.
People may take it the wrong way.
People... Pero outsider, when I really think about it, I don't blame them also for taking it the wrong way. Talagang iba yung pag-deliver ko, iba yung... Maybe that wasn't my intention, but the delivery was just really bad. Na parang, oo nga, I don't blame any of them na ganun yung naging understanding. So there are a lot of things that I regret personally. Pero yun nga you can only look at yourself. I can't speak for everyone who, yung nakabangga ko, whether it be a coach, di ba, or a teammate, yung mga nakabangga ko, I can't really speak for them. Pero ako, I've realized, meron mga times na mababago. So, pero, with that aside, you do everything you can possible to make it. Because everyone is fighting for a spot, everyone is fighting for a contract, for a team. So, lumabang ka lang ng lumaban. Pero, being a guy who didn't make it, who worked his whole life to make it but didn't, there's life after.
Moving forward with what you're doing, life around basketball, not necessarily in it, but what can you say now on how can you get to the next page?
I think I've moved past being the player because I'm still a player technically kasi naglaro pa ako this season sa MPBL. Pero medyo natuto na akong hindi basketball is life. May ginagawa na ako after practice, may ginagawa na ako before practice, pag day off. Dati kasi talagang basketball yung focus mo. Ngayon medyo may ginagawa na ako like on the side, nagre-racket tayo, di ba ganyan-ganyan. And then now that I've officially decided na
Retire ka na?
as a player, retire na ako. Actually, gusto ko pa nagbabasketball kasi masarap magbasketball hindi ko na kaya yung pa-practice ko pa araw-araw.
Baka maghang ka na ng jersey mo di.
Hindi ko pa nga alam kung worthy pa. Baka mag-ceremony kami ng girlfriend ko ng hang ng jersey. Pero, yun na nga, like now, that I've decided to, now is the time, tumitingin ako ng ibang gagawin na full-time, di ba? Pero I still want to stay within the game. So, that's why I've decided to open up, di ba, my own academy na talagang to focus on the kids, or even not just the kids, yung college, yung pros, just really basketball in general, na talagang I still wanna stay within the game.
Yeah.
Yun yung goal ko ngayon. Post-basketball is still basketball. Parang ganun, di ba? Di ba, like ikaw, di ba, I'm sure when you decide na ayaw mo na mag-player, you still wanna stay within the game kahit may ginagawa ka na outside.
That's why we're here.
Oo, di ba? Actually, kaya nga tayo naging broadcaster dahil sa basketball din, di ba? Sinerte lang, ikaw yung nag-transition ka to news eh.
Lastly, Mikey, okay, so anong masasabi mo sa lahat ng, siguro natanong ko na rin to, but your last message to the ones that, basketball is life, basketball is not life, but from your experience, what should you really focus on, what do you want to achieve?
Get to know yourself better. When you're younger kasi, since yung focus mo nasa basketball, you tend to see yourself as a basketball player, period. When the injuries started to happen, when the cuts started to happen, yung hindi ka umabot sa team, hindi ka nasa-sign, dun ko slowly na-discover yung sarili ko na, uy, may hilig din pala akong iba. May iba pa din pala akong kayang gawin. So, don't forget to discover or to explore yours sounds so bad. Pero medyo masama yung ano nun. Pero don't forget to get to know yourself better. Na I'm sure meron kang ibang ano. So I think it also
May iba kang kayang gawin.
Oh, it also relieves the pressure. Kasi kung basketball ka lang buong araw, medyo hirap eh. Medyo don't forget to have fun with it. Don't forget to don't pag masama yung game mo, you always have somewhere to, you always have an outlet, and always the outlets come from exploring kung anong kaya, ibang interests mo, ibang hobbies mo. So, yun yung kailangan mong mahanap as you grow older. And once you find those, it doesn't mean you lose focus of your main goal, which is to make it big in the PBA or in the MPBL or make it big in basketball. Pero at least, hindi ka like prisoner in your own thoughts.
That's true.
Na yun lang iniisip mo, paano ako magpi-PBA, paano ako magaganyan. So doon mo ma-realize. Actually, when I started to enjoy basketball a little bit more, when I started to do other stuff around it, aside from that. So yun yung lang, as kids, we hope for the best na make it big to the basketball world. And a lot of guys make it, but a lot of mas madaming tao na hindi umaabot doon. So from me, if you can take advice from someone who didn't make it, yun yung
So for the kids who want to make it as like a basketballist life, yun nga sabi mo, go beyond, di ba?
Go beyond.
How would you encourage them just to,
Actually, kahit yung mga nasa PBA, hindi naman yun yung, like yun yung focus nila. Pero I know a lot of guys who have other interests.
Pero lately mo na lang nila yun na nare-realize.
Yun na nga when you get older, dun mo ma-realize yun.
But we can, what if we can start it at a young age?
Yun, exactly.
Diba?
Exactly.
I can do this, but I know that I can do other stuff
also. Kumbaga, kumbaga variety din. Don't be basketball buong araw 24/7. Yun ako eh. That was who I am, and I'm proud of who I was, and I can say that I'm who I am. I am who I am right now because of that type of life that I lived. Pero kumbaga kahit man yung mga NBA players, diba? Damian Lillard is a rapper, diba? So there are other, we don't just dribble. We don't just shoot the basketball. Kumbaga, you have other stuff that you can attend to. So the younger you realize that, the younger you see or you discover other facets of your life, I think the easier it will be to transition. Pero, don't forget na yun pa rin yung main focus mo. Talagang gawin mo lahat para umabot dun.
Correct.
Para umabot sa PBA. Mamba mentality pa rin.
Alright.
Always.
Of course. There you have it, my brother, my man.
Hindi ko nga alam ba't ako yung first guest
My
niya.
man.
Hindi ko alam eh. Baka,
Alam mo yun.
Sana
maraming views.
kung hindi man madaming views nito, hindi dahil sa yun bro dahil sa akin.
That's
Hindi ko alam
it.
bakit ako yung kinuha mong guest eh. Pero congratulations sa bago mong venture.
This is Off the Record with Mixed Musas with my man, Mikey Reyes, brother.
Thank you
Appreciate it,
very